When it comes to creating content, I obviously have a framework that I teach in my programs. But if you right now are struggling to think about, what do I post today? I need to come up with something. I'm not inspired. My number one thing to do is go live your life. When you are living your life and being you and doing something that you love, inspiration comes. Inspiration flows. And the next thing that I love when it comes to creating content is whether it's somebody that's in a program, it's somebody that's seen me online, I get questions every single day. So what do I do with those questions? They're content. I give my inner circle full permission. Please ask me questions. I'm probably going to create content about it, but ask me questions. Like, ask questions. If you have the question, somebody else has the question. So think about the things that people are asking. If you're like, well, I'm still new and I'm not getting a lot of questions because I haven't really positioned myself as an expert, that's a whole nother video or podcast episode. But you can go into Facebook groups and see what types of questions people are asking. My best advice is to practice using your voice and answering those questions, even if they're a year old, because it brings it back up into the news feed and somebody's going to see your answer that could potentially need what you have to offer, right? So practice using your voice. Don't be afraid of that. And the next thing that I recommend is looking and seeing what people are searching for when it comes to your industry. I would used to say go to Pinterest, but honestly, Answer the Public and Answer Crities, and those two are really great because you can put in a keyword. So if you do social media, it's going to come up with all the most searched terms of social media. The other thing that you can do is go look and see what is trending right now. What are people talking about within that industry, right? So find an industry, online platform, publication, and see what people are talking about. Position yourself by, number one, having your own opinion about it and not going with everybody else's. Have a stand, say what you believe in, right? You may believe in a lot of things that people say and agree with it, but maybe not everything. Be honest about that. Share that. And then I also love Quora.com because that is a great site where people are actually asking questions. And I do this one of two ways whenever I need to go to Quora. Number one, I answer the question as the expert, right? But number two, I look and see, again, what are people saying and answering for this person? Not so I can compare myself and say, dang, they know more than I do, but to see where my experience differs and how I can share that with my audience. For example, a lot of people think this, and here's why I disagree. Pretty simple content prompt, right? Do recommend staying away from any type of done-for-you content, and here's why. It is not your voice. It is not your words. It is not what you're thinking. It is not what you're going through right in this moment. Content prompts are better, right? Because it's at least prompting you to start thinking, to start having an opinion, having a thought, having some activation for your audience, having your audience even ask themselves questions. That's how we become memorable. Don't hide your passion. Don't hide your knowledge. Don't hide what you know. A lot of times we play small and we don't own up to our bigness. We struggle practicing using our voice, probably because we were told to be quiet at some point in our life. Or this can go back to some people where you hear children are meant to be seen, not heard. Like, those types of things stick with us. And even if they're subconscious, they could be causing us not to show up in our bigness and in our fullness and the way that we were meant to. So find a way to use your voice, share your bigness, never stop practicing using your voice. There is always someone out there that's willing and going to listen, even if they don't give you the instant gratification that you want right in that moment. So ask yourself, how am I going to practice using my voice today? How am I going to create better content today? How am I going to position myself as the expert today? How is this one piece of content going to help build my business today? These are great questions to ask yourself and great questions to ponder upon. But you are the one who gets to live your life and find correlation in everything that you do that matches what you do for your business.